Hey Sexy Crew, welcome back to Lakeisha Sexy 40 Plus channel to another Tell All series. This is part 4 Tell All series. And if you didn't catch part 1, part 2, and part 3, I suggest you go and catch up because your girl is being really real relatable in this series. So make sure you go check out 1, 2, and 3. And it's most imperative that you check 1, 2, and 3 out because you probably won't understand what I'm talking about when I'm speaking in part 4. So make sure you go and you check out my Tell All series. That would be greatly appreciated. And if you are new here, welcome to Lakeisha Sexy 40 Plus channel. Thank you for clicking on my channel. It's much appreciated. And to my OGs, y'all already know the vibes. I think we should just get right into the Tell All series. So, in part 3 of my Tell All series, I left off basically letting my sexy crew know about me beginning my adult life, I should say. This Tell All series, like I said, is very relatable. At times, it could be very embarrassing to me. However, I feel like life is a teacher. Life is a lesson. And if you don't learn from it, that's what you should be embarrassed about. So, with that being said, I kind of ended off in part 3 by letting my sexy crew know how I became a mother, and I basically had to leave. After I became a wife and a mother, and I had to leave, and I had to come back here to New York. I apologize for the noise. I am sitting right by a window, and I live in New York City, so we're gonna get New York City vibes here on this channel. I think I left off basically letting my sexy crew know about me getting married the first time and having my 2 oldest boys. When I did leave my husband, my first husband, I left 8 months pregnant with a 1.5-year-old. I came back to New York City, and I had to basically start over. Like I mentioned in my Tell All series, when I did leave New York, I kept my apartment. The rent was still being paid here in New York City. And so happy that I did that. I'm so happy that I did that. I came back and I struggled, sexy crew. I struggled because now I'm not 18 anymore, moving out on my own and just have to worry about myself. I am now a mother with a whole 1.5-year-old and a baby in my stomach. So moving forward, I had my second son here in New York City, and life started lifing. Life started showing me what it means to be responsible, because We think we know what it means to be responsible, but when you have to care for other people other than yourself, that's a whole nother responsibility, a whole nother challenge. Don't get me wrong, children are a blessing. Children are a blessing. However, my advice to young women out here, I feel, and I think I mentioned this in my other series, I feel you should wait. I feel like you should wait and you should live life. I feel like we have so much to learn. So it's like, how are we supposed to teach these babies? Which I did it, and I made mistakes along the way. Thank God they wasn't detrimental mistakes. Thank God they wasn't mistakes that you can't fix. You know? Thank God. Moving forward, I had 2 boys now. I have an infant son and a 2-year-old baby. He was still a baby. A 2-year-old baby and an infant. Your girl had to go get on government assistance. I had to go apply for them food stamps. I had to go apply for that free milk. I had to go apply for assistance to pay my rent. I needed help. And I have a family. I had a family back then. My mom and my stepdad were great supporters. However, it's not too much they can do. Those wasn't their babies. Those were my babies. So, in order for me to be this independent woman that I am, because again, I left at 17 and some change, almost 18 years old. Being this independent woman, strong-minded, and I was determined to make it work. I was determined to do anything I had to do morally to take care of my children. So I had to get on government assistance. I had to get the assistance from the government to maintain my home and my children. The children's father, the children's father wasn't present in their life. I noticed when I left, of course, he kept calling and begging me to come back. And it was a time that I did bring my babies back to Virginia to see their father, and he never seen the baby that was in my stomach, my second son. He never met him. So I felt as a mother that it was my obligation to make that happen, to let him meet his son. So I believe my second son was about 6 months. So now I have this 2-year-old and I have a 6-month-year-old. Really making it living on government assistance, because if you know, they know. They give you just enough. And not just like, they give you just enough. They give you just enough. And whereas I'm much appreciative of the help that the government can give a single woman raising children, it still wasn't enough. So I used to talk to the children's father, and I remember him sending me a stroller for my second son. And I remember him saying, well, if you come to Virginia, come back, bring them to see me. I'll buy him this, that, and the third. I'll send you a couple of dollars back to New York so you can be all right with the boys. So he just, within that 6 months, he just kept insisting that I come to Virginia. And I wound up going to Virginia. He flew me out to Virginia and me and the boys. And long story short, I was there for about a week. And I was staying at his sister's house, and he would come to his sister's house every day and try to get some ass. He wasn't concerned at all about them babies. Like, he picked them up for about 10 minutes, and then he was in my face trying to get some ass. So that was the last time I took my babies back to Virginia to see them. And did I give him some ass? No, I did not give him any ass. I feel once you leave a relationship, it's over. There's no backseas. We're not playing no backseas. We are. This is real life. If you couldn't get it right when we was together, and I'm sure most women always give their man plenty of chances. And if you couldn't get it right when we was together, why would you get it right in the future? So I feel like it's no backseas. I feel like it's no going back. With that being said, I came back on to New York City. I came back from New York City, and I was determined to get my high school diploma, which is called a GED. And your girl was focused. I was focused on getting that. So here's the thing with me. Like, when I first signed up, I went to a college to get my GED. And when I first signed up for my GED, they offered me college credits. And with them college credits, if I continue to move on, I can receive my associate's degree. So it was like a certain amount of time. It was like, say I had to do a year of classes in order for me to get my GED, and of course take a test at the end of the quarter and to see if I qualified to get my GED. And then if you wanted to continue on to take them college classes to get your associates, you can. So when I went into school, I had a babysitter, a close friend of mine, one of my best friends, watched my son and watched my sons, plural, at 22, plural. I had 2 sons. And I went and I started school. And I remember receiving my GED. I remember being so excited. I received my GED. However, I didn't continue on to get my associate's degree at this time in my life. And when I look back, that's another thing that I regret. That I'm like, oh my gosh, why didn't I do that back then? I could have been done. But I didn't. I just had my mind set on getting my GED. I accomplished just that. So it was like, all right, I'm done. in the midst of that time, I was also focusing on my driver's license. I have 2 boys, like I said. So I was also focusing on getting a driver's license. I was also doing a lot of studying because I'm trying to get my GED. So, and taking care of my 2 boys at the same time, and getting the help from government assistance to be able to go and get my GED. So, with that being said, I remember like 6 months after me getting my GED, I got my license. My mama bought me my first car. I believe I was like 23. My mom bought me my first car. I had a Passat, or a Volkswagen. I had a Volkswagen Passat, white. I love a white car, y'all. I love a white car. Then I decided to go to medical school. And I feel like that was a great career choice for me because I'm so caring. Like, I'm really concerned about people, and especially elder people and children. Like, all the children loves me. And girl, I've been around children for like 28 years, and your girl be needing a break, but they love me. They take to me, which I'm so thankful of, because they are so innocent and pure. Like, the babies, the children, so innocent and pure. Like, the world kind of like, you know, I don't want to say anything negative, but y'all know. So yeah, your girl went to medical school. Let me tell y'all a little challenging but funny story. When I went to medical school, I had a little almost had a conversation too. I just clicked in my head. I almost had a conversation in medical school at 23 years old, and I forget exactly the problem, but I know that the young lady was trying to make a scene in school, and I'm like, this is not the right time or no place. Let's go outside and go around the corner, homie. Asked me, does she want to go outside and go around the corner? No, but she wanted to make a whole bunch of noise inside a building with professors, and like, this is not the time and the place, ma. But if you got all that energy, let's go outside and go around the corner. And I'm talking to her just like I'm speaking right now, and she's making a whole scene. Oh, so you don't want to go outside and go around the corner? But yeah, I almost got into a conversation in medical school. But I enjoyed medical school, Sexy Crew. I am a certified medical assistant here in New York City. I'm also a certified phlebotomist here in New York City. I did graduate when I went to medical school. Oh my gosh, I had challenging times though. So when it came down to drawing the blood, which that is phlebotomy, I was being a punk. Sexy Crew. I couldn't draw. Like, we had to, like, as we got good, as the weeks went on, we had to team up with someone and draw each other blood. And girl, I could never draw my partner's blood. I could never do it. I was just always so afraid to stick the needle inside. Like, girl, I went through a whole month. And couldn't do it. And I was like one of the tops in my class. A lot of people, not just my grades, but my personality. I was like really popular. And a lot of people was looking like, you can't do it. I mean, I can't do it. So I was kind of like holding other people back. And I remember my professor And phlebotomy, her name was Miss Gooden. Like, if she ever see this video, like, I love her. I love Miss Gooden. I never forgot about her. Her name is Keisha Gooden. And she was the bomb. She was the bomb. Like, I enjoy going to school, and one of the reasons why, because I had a phlebotomy class with a black professor, because she was black, with a black professor, and she was beautiful. Like, beautiful, slim, about her business, about her fashion, but she was great at phlebotomy. And yeah, I will never forget that I started to bring the equipment home. Wasn't supposed to do that, but I started to bring the equipment home: the butterfly needle, the straight needle, the syringe, the alcohol pads, like everything that you need to draw blood, the tubes, the blood tubes, like everything you needed for the blood, I started bringing home. I remember asking my mom, no matter of fact, I didn't even ask her. I brought it home and she offered. I ain't gonna lie, she offered. She was like, girl, get in the bathroom. Because I had my kids out in the living room. So she's like, come in the bathroom. Come on, so you can have quiet, you can concentrate. Do it on me. Do it on me. I'm like, Mom, I'm not sticking you. No, I'm not sticking you. She's like, girl, you gotta break your virginity some kind of way. She's like, you gotta do it on somebody in order to get past whatever you're going through, basically. So it probably took me an hour. We in the bathroom sweating, we laughing, she making jokes, teasing me, and finally I did it. And she was 100% right. It seemed like after I did it that one time, I think I did it twice that day, but I didn't draw a lot of her blood in the tube. I stopped it right away because I didn't want to draw her blood. I just wanted to get the technique down pat. And yeah, I think she let me do it 2 times that day. And then every day after that, I was just so open. I went to school and I was doing my thing. I actually graduated top of my class out of medical school, phlebotomist. Like, right while I was still in school, I became an intern, and I worked inside a colonoscopy medical office. So when I first started, of course, I was there doing paperwork, filing, and then I moved up to taking pressure, taking temperature, doing the weight, things to that nature. And then the doctor moved me to draw the blood when the patients come in. So my job was, as an intern, draw blood, do the pressure, do the weight, height, things to that nature when the patient first into the building. And I got good at it. I love doing that job. I'm not gonna even lie. I have to say that is my favorite job that I had. Yeah, definitely hands down my favorite job that I had. Unfortunately, 3 years in, because they did hire me. They did hire your girl. I got hired after my internship was over, which I think was like 3 months to maybe 6 months. After that, they hired your girl. That was actually the most money that I ever made doing a 9 to 5. I was getting, my check was looking real sweet every 2 weeks. Like, ooh. I had them 2 boys. I was happy, y'all. I had a car. My mama had bought me a car. So I had a car. It was the vibe. And then guess what? They hired another intern. Well, even when they hired me, it always was interns coming in and out. They was getting that free work, basically. But it was just one intern, and she was bilingual. I mean, she spoke English, Spanish, and it was another language. She spoke a third language. And the area we was in was Spanish-speaking, a Spanish-speaking neighborhood. So they wound up basically hiring that intern and cutting my hours. So I went from 50 hours, I went down to 25 hours. Like, that's drastic, y'all. That was like a big stop my shit. I'm like, and I know the deal, you know, probably then I didn't understand as much as I understand now. Everything's about business. Everything's about money. They finally found somebody, because like I said, in them 3 years, they always brought interns in and out. But they found somebody else that was great at drawing blood and can speak all these different languages that they needed to be spoken to their patients, if y'all follow what I'm saying. So they cut my hours and gave them to her. And I'm not gonna use the word kind of. I'm gonna say I was hurt. I was devastated. Like I said, I love the job, but it also made me see that you are replaceable when it comes down to these 9-to-5 jobs. You are replaceable. So that kind of like discouraged your girl, right? And like I mentioned in the other series, part 1, part 2, forget which one, I always had an entrepreneur type of mind in you, right? Always wanted to sell something. I actually want to own my own lounge, my own R&B hip-hop lounge. When I was in my teens, that was one of my goals, like to own a hip-hop R&B lounge and then to let it grow. Y'all know? Have different lounges in different states, LA, New York City, you know? So I always had an entrepreneur type of mind. That made me really get into it. That made me really, really, really get into it. Like, I started doing Avon right after that, because I felt like it's not mine, but it's mine. I can make my own schedule. I can get my own clients. I can make my sales accordingly. I can do basically what I want. So, with that being said, like I said, it discouraged me. And it's like, people really don't care. Like, people just care about what you can do for them. You do this job for me, and that's it. Like, this job is going to still go on tomorrow, whether you're here or you're not, type vibes. And I like to be appreciated. Like, when I'm doing something, I'm giving my all to it. I'm doing my best. So, I like to be appreciated. When I'm around a boss, my mother, my father, may he rest in peace, my mate, my best friend, whoever I'm around, I give you what I want you to give me. So I get offended when I don't get that same energy back. So with that being said, it kind of discouraged me. So I started working for Avon, because I still have to take care of these 2 boys. Like I mentioned, government assistance helps, but just enough help. It's not going to give me them extra things that I want to do for my children, that I want to do for myself. So I still needed to work. So with that being said, I remember meeting my second husband, which is my 3rd son's father. And I remember, I mentioned I think in part 1 or 2 that I didn't enjoy any of my pregnancies. And the reason why I didn't enjoy my first pregnancy is because my children's father was a whore. And the reason why I couldn't enjoy my second pregnancy, my 3rd pregnancy, but different, you know, a different guy, And I must say, let me say, before I get to me having my third son, him and I met in a neighborhood, and I wasn't really trying to get into a relationship. I have been single for about 3 years at this time, and I remember him, he worked at a store that I used to go in often, and I remember going into the store, and every time I go into the store, you know, he would throw his shot, you know, he would flirt. And I remember, like, always, you know, brushing it off, because I wasn't looking to be with anyone. I was looking to get myself together so I could be able to take care of these 2 boys. So, long story short, it took him about 6 to 8 months of me going in and out of the store at least every week. And I remember he gave me his number. He gave me his number like 4 times, y'all. Like 4 times. And I you know, I just feel like things really happen, like, in life the way it's supposed to happen. Even if we don't agree with how it's going, that's the way it's supposed to be, right? Long story short, we went on our first date, wound up marrying a man 5 years later. My son came my third son came, we was together for like 9 years by the time my son came. Yeah. By the time my third child came, we was together for about a good 9 years. So I was trying to let my sexy crew know that the reason why I didn't have a great pregnancy with this husband is because of my circumstances. Like, oh my gosh, it was so much having my last boy. I had to have a C-section with all 3 of my children. The first one wasn't bad at all. Snapped right back 2 days. That's that young, you know, the young vibes. I'm 20 years old, like, body snap right back 2 days. I'm running, I'm jumping, I'm moving. The second time around with my second son, I had a C-section, but I had a little complications during that time. They wanted to give me a blood transfusion, and your girl declined. I said, no, I don't want it. Oh, Miss Chisholm, you need a blood transfusion. Nope, I can build my blood back up. I'll be all right. I'm young. At this time, I'm 24. I'm sorry. I'm 22. At this time, I'm 22. And I'm like, I'm going to snap back. I'm going to snap right back. Don't worry about it. And I did. My mom and my stepdad, like, gave me all the good stuff to bring your blood count back to where it's supposed to be. The beets, the liver. Like, it was giving your girl all that stuff. I actually love liver, though, with some onions and gravy. Your girl loves some liver. I don't care for the beets, though. Yeah, I didn't have a great pregnancy with my last son because I had so many complications with him. And I had my last son, I was 34. So y'all see that gap with my first 2 boys, then with my last son. Girl, what was you doing? Oh, what was I doing? Somebody comment down below. Please tell me, what was I doing? Like, none of my pregnancies was planned. I'm not gonna even lie, but that one really was not planned. That one wasn't planned. My last son I was with the man for so many years. Like, to be honest, I'm like, my last son, my second son, kind of tore me up, offered me blood transfusions and things. Like, I don't care no more babies. Anyway, here come this little baby. Here he come. But I had so many complications with him. When I first actually went to the doctor, no, my second checkup appointment with my third son, they told me that it's just an embryo. It's no heartbeat. It's just an embryo. Like, expect to start bleeding in the next couple of days. That means the baby is coming out. You are basically having a miscarriage. That's what they told me with my son at 34. My third son at 34 years old. I could have been 33. I probably was 33. Yeah, I was 33. I was 33. Right? No. I'm sorry, y'all. I was like 32. Because I got back with Hamo at 34. That's how I'm keeping track. I was like 32. I was 32. And, yeah. I was having complications. And they told me that my baby is not going to make it. And I'm going to have a miscarriage. So your girl walking around for like 2 weeks until my next appointment, devastated. Like, when I'm gonna start bleeding, they said I'm not gonna have this baby. I lost my baby. I was crying, y'all. I was like, I could not enjoy like none of my pregnancies. Like, I'm not gonna even lie. Like, none of my pregnancies. I think my first pregnancy was enjoyable because I was young. I had a lot of friends around me. So it was, I guess I'm gonna give that more of an enjoyable experience than I can with my last 2 pregnancies. We're gonna give it that. I look at some positive, right? And the fact that they made it here healthy and strong, like, hands down, that's a blessing. But so as we see, obviously my son is 14 now. He did make it here in this world. But that wasn't it with the third pregnancy. Like, he was the first premature baby, and I had him, I was like 6 months going on 7 months. And he came and he was in an incubator, and they had tubes all on him. He was 4 pounds and 1 ounce. And I just remember being so sad, waking up, and I had to go to the nursery, where the ICU nursery, to where they had him. And because if you know, when you have a C-section, you out of it. You really don't know what's going on. So I knew what was going on, though. I just skipped that part. I didn't want to traumatize y'all. But I knew what was going on. And that doctor had a hard time getting that baby out of me. He had a hard time getting him out of me. Like, he was red. The doctor, he was red. He was sweating. I mean, y'all, he was actually like laying on me, trying to get my son out of my stomach. Like, oh my gosh. Having a baby, one of the toughest things in this world, and one of the beautifulest things in the world, I must say. Long story short, my baby was in the incubator, tubes all in him for about 2 months, month and a half. He didn't do the 2 months, for a month and a half. But I was just so scared to touch him. I remember me telling my ex-husband, like, I don't want to touch him. I'm scared. He like, you gotta touch him. He like, you have to. He gotta feel you. He gotta hear you. You all he heard for this almost 7 months that he was inside of you. Like, he needs to feel you. That's gonna help him. That's gonna make him stronger. I remember the pep talk, and it worked. It worked. I really needed the pep talk, and I remember, I forget what it's called. Y'all know I'm getting old. I haven't did this in years. But I forget what it's called when they lay skin to skin touch. When they lay the infant on bare chest, and you get that skin to skin touch from the baby to you. And I remember doing that. Long story short, homeboy got better real fast. That 14-year-old boy is greedy and strong to this day. Thank God. He eats you out of the house and the home. He's so solid. He like 6'1" at 14. Like a big boy. A big boy. And by the way, fun fact, I was also premature and 4'1". Born 4 pounds 1 ounce. So I thought that was like too funny. And look at me, right? So yeah, I didn't have good experiences being pregnant. I didn't have the best experiences being pregnant. Moving forward, and I think we should say that for part 5, moving forward, so we won't make this video so long. This tell-all series, like I said, it's just basically letting my sexy crew know my trials and tribulations. I am 40 plus, so I started doing YouTube fairly late in the game. So I had to give y'all a little glimpse of my 20s, my 30s, just to let y'all know, give y'all a little idea. But when we get into part 5, I'm going to let y'all know how I went back to school and I still got my associate's degree. And yeah, we're going to get all into them vibes. I hope my sexy crew enjoy part 4 of Tell-All series. I actually enjoy doing this type of series with my sexy crew. I would really appreciate if y'all leave me comments down below, because the new year is coming up and I want to know what y'all want to see more of from me. So comment down below and let me know what you'd like to see. That would be greatly appreciated. And I'm in this right here, and I'm going to get Tell-All part 5 to y'all real soon. If y'all haven't hit that red button, down below, please hit that red button down below. Join the sexy crew and subscribe. Give your girl a big thumbs up for this video. It takes a lot of work to do these type of videos. I actually love to do it, don't get me wrong, but it do take a little work. So make sure you give your girl a big thumbs up. And if you hit that notification bell down below, that notification bell will let you know when your girl has uploaded. You don't gotta keep looking every other day to see if I uploaded. The bell down there, it'll just notify your phone and let you know Lakeisha Sexy 40 Plus has uploaded. I thank you, sexy crew, for watching again, and I'm gonna see y'all real soon in Tell-All series part 5. Peace.